homeless guy was trying to put a spell on me, but I think he was just waving.
The following film is intended for mature audiences and contains adult content, graphic language, graphic violence, nudity, and strong sexual content. Viewer discretion is advised. Like, we'll leave it up to you, but you gotta know about this stuff before getting into this whole thing, you know? I mean, straight up, one guy gets his face bitten off by a raccoon, and we show it.
I ain't an industry nigga, I'm a nigga in the industry. I got a hard dick for pussies who think I'm soft and are not feeling me. Why are you fucking up all of my...
Hey y'all, he's cool.
And he's Kegs. And who is this guy?
That guy? Who is that guy? That guy's got a funny name, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a weird name. It's like Eisen or
EisenFox.
EisenFox. You know, here's the funniest thing, guys.
I had to play with it.
Obviously we're, on camera. That's kind of a first for us, or a first. But let me explain. So I've been asking, in all the Discord channels, who is EisenFox, those little trailers. EisenFox, we normally do a little banner and stuff. Actually, you want to hit them with your little thing, Kegs, real quick?
I figured we'd do it somewhere that sounded more natural, but since you brought it up, so everyone listening, if you could do us all a huge favor, like this video, subscribe to our page, and hit that noti bell, we'd love you forever. I'm just saying.
We can put out a lot more content, and it won't cost you a dime. It costs you one click. We just need the subs, guys. That's all we need. And, 92% of you aren't subscribed. Yeah, give it, and the thumbs up. See, Eisen is helping us. But since we robbed the stage to do our shameless plug, Eisen, you've done your job so well, nobody knows who you are. Can you explain who you are first? Not even as a player.
Well, I'm EisenFox, obviously. I've been working, I wouldn't say working, but I've been helping out the SkyWarriors community since the game was 3 months old. I got in Discord server, saw there wasn't that much going on. Basically, you just hit up Rulebox and say, hey, can I help out? I've got experience, I've been doing this for a couple of years. See that there's nobody on, I want to build up the community, how can I help? And he said, if you want to join the mud team, go for it. And then I just basically went through a couple of things, and then I joined the mud team.
So you're kind of one of those secret mods in the background, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, I did talk a lot at first, so trying to find out, position myself in the player base. Mm-hmm. But then after that, I noticed then by experience that you just got to sit back and let the players come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a revolving door to some point. Well, I guess really. So we'll skip the elephant in the room for a second. As far as other games, do you still play the game? Are you?
Yeah, I still play the game. Well,
Yeah.
I first started off playing the game at 40 hours a week, so I was a pretty heavy player.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I went from my first aim was to get basically to the top French, because it's in regions.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get to the top French region, and I got that. I went to top 3 in about 2 months.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay. Well,
I suppose you said that was when the game was 3 months old, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so that would have been a little quicker to attain, I guess, than it would be like nowadays with the.
There was only 2 modes out. There was either payload or skirmish.
Right. Yep. So I guess like I said, though, we didn't have like the numbers we do now. For like the newer players that are listening, just so you guys are aware. Back in the day when the 3 of us started, you know what I mean? It was small points, big, small points for a big war, basically.
Well, I've got to ask. I'm excited to, sort of. Have you? What do you think about Metal Storm so far?
I mean, it's fun. It's fun. I just joined in today, and the menus remind me a bit of sort of like, you know, what's the pub, you know, like PUBG or you know, Modern Warfare. That, you know, that kind of ranking that you have where you can get, you sort of like, you know, you add on to a team's chest, then you add on to this, that, and the other, and you're basically getting what they call an active power pass, where you can sort of like, you can either decide to go for the full one, which you pay for, and then you can get a free one, so you know how you're going up.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I think you get a lot more little. I mean, obviously they're little bits, but you get a lot more of them as you go along. Like after every match, you can open up a chest. It's down there, so you're always getting things. So you're always having that little thing hitting you, saying, "Oh, you're getting something." So you're sort of like you're feeling pleased.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm just curious. I don't know if you can talk about it, but does you think Wildlife has any idea about Metal Storm and the migration?
No idea.
No
idea.
No. So
no idea. No idea. I mean,
that was a very confidently stated.
Even if there is, there's millions of games out there that anybody. I mean, if you want to play it, you download it and you play it. There's no such thing. The more airplane games, good airplane games that are out there, the better, because that way you can make a choice of the best one.
Well, and even for the developers, I'm sure, of these games, because they know that probably most of those customers are going to rotate eventually.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I don't see people necessarily leaving.
Every game has an average life of 4 years. Average.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
so basically, what you're saying is we're halfway through, realistically.
In what I've seen in games that I've played over the years, yeah, we're about halfway through.
Okay.
Not that I'm wanting it to be halfway through. I hope it goes on for on and on and on, because I really love the game. I really love SkyWarriors.
Yeah, I do too. Honestly,
right. Well, and I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. As a recent player who's been here for a while, you know, from the skirmish only days on, it definitely doesn't feel the same as it did. There is no doubt about that.
No, for sure. No, that's for sure. Yeah, there's a lot more grinding.
You know. Well, yes and no. I mean, I feel like the 2-hour double points is kind of, or just the double points in general, has definitely kind of put a weird spin on it. Because before, if you wanted to do 10K, you just had to grind out and do 10K, or 20K, or 30K, or 40K. You know, now you can just do 20K in half hour, and you're good. You know, now we're getting these 10, 15, 20 million point wars, and it's just insane. I mean, you got guys. When I first started, doing 50 to 60,000 points was insane. You know, people that did 100 were gods. Mm-hmm. Now you get that shit. You get that shit on the regular. You know. Now that's normal. That's normal. Now there's people hitting 1 million points. It's insane.
That's because of the doubles and the specials being added in. You got extra fuel now. You got double points now. You got chest opening.
Well, you know what?
You've got plane development quickers. You know, it's all just, they've added that in only recently. I mean, when I first started off, I joined Bro were at the top. In order to get in, I had to go through a survey in private with the commander and the VCs. Therefore, you know, what can you do? What can you bring to the team? It wasn't like you're accepted straight away. You had to go through a bit like what we're doing now, question answer kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you got in. And basically I was taught in order to you could do about 15K in about an hour and a half if you just basically solidly decaled, refueled, no chatting, and then just going into it real hard for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, dead on, smack on, with no doubles, nothing, just only decals and refueling.
Well,
there you could do about 15K in about an hour and a half, and that was only in skirmish.
You know, since we're sitting here talking about the lifespan,
yeah, but you were still holding you know, a 5+ kills and a few balloons in that time frame. Well, that whole time to be able to hit that.
Yeah, we worked in a team as not to try and hit the balloons because they only gave 30 points at that.
Right, I never bothered with them either, but
I hate balloon shooters. To be honest, I hate balloon shooters.
I love the guy. There's always, in every match, there's always one guy that makes a beeline for the balloons. Yep. So I'm like, okay, cluster missile, hit the balloon they're aiming at when they get close, explode them and the balloon, and call it a day.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Well,
I mean, that's how you work with it. You work with the other guys going for the objectives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, so you spoke about the lifespan of most games, and obviously, well, I guess you could consider yourself a professional mod really at this point. So,
Well, I wouldn't say professional because I do it for fun and because I like helping people out. I'm always like that. I'm a
so experience maybe mod.
Yeah, well, obviously experience because I know people sometimes they just don't know and they just don't have the backup or the background or the opportunity to sit back and think about stuff
And not talk.
Because everything nowadays is sort of like it's got to be done instantly. You know, we're in a world where news from the day is forgotten 2 days afterwards.
Absolutely.
Everything's instant.
Yep, absolutely.
Everything, and everybody expects something to happen straight away, right in the instant that they occur. It, you see.
Well, we were talking about. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just what we were talking about with all the extras, you know, the missiles and the 2-hour doublers, all these extra little things that they added in, probably to generate revenue. Obviously, from a business standpoint, it seems to make sense. You know, they understand how long.
I don't blame them.
No.
Don't blame them.
I think they might have started squeezing the turnip a little early though, especially with the group of people that are still together in the Discord. You know. There's a lot of people like me that don't want to see the SkyWarriors go anywhere. Just kind of maybe drop the prices a little bit. Let's have some fun again. You know, they're making some money. They've got to be, and if they're not, they're doing something wrong.
Well, you got to be aware that this game is ad free. There's no ads in it.
That's true.
They don't ask you to watch an ad for 30 seconds in order to have an extra fuel bar or anything like that. Or it doesn't cut into an ad after 2 games, like many games do have, in order to generate revenue.
That's
they
true.
Don't. It's an ad-free game, and you can play it for hours on end without seeing a single ad.
That's the first time I've heard that brought up, and that's true. Absolutely. And I don't hate on it. Don't get me wrong. I keep hearing comments in Discord, like I was telling Kegs earlier. I seen a comment that basically said it's basically another game, because I don't want to necessarily promote that game, but another game seemed to do everything that we've been asking SkyWarriors to do. And that was the comment, and it kind of hurt me at the same time as it was like, yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, I've complained about this. I've had personal conversations with you about I'd love to help wildlife, but I'm going to do it in my own way, you know. But yeah, it's hard to get to them. What's the communication like? I mean, how does that work? Mero kind of explained a little bit.
Well, because we're in different time zones. Sometimes I don't get an answer straight away, obviously due to many hours of I'm in Europe GMT time. A lot of the people are in either Brazil or Ireland, so it takes time in order to get a response to have in the same time zone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But generally, with the ones that I knew who got me in, there was a daily communication. Basically, with Rulebox, he was the old CM. There was a communication every day of what was going on, what he was going to get, and what he was doing. Because basically the server was building up as well at that moment. It wasn't a sort of like a dedicated server.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have its own private, tag. So when you hit the link, it didn't have its permanent tag. It was always changing. So now you can see it's sort of like SkyWarriors official with the little tick on top.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the case when I first joined at that moment.
I got you. Well,
I mean, I've been through quite a few community managers who struggled communicating.
Well, and that's,
the last one that we've got, she's
well,
doing pretty
and
good. She wants to.
Well, I was just going to say for
the server.
Right, and if you don't mind me throwing this out real quick before we move on. Just for those who listen and don't know, who is our current community manager?
She's basically fair.
Yeah, and basically don't bombard her
Yeah.
with questions and stuff like that, because you will not receive an answer. I
No,
guarantee you.
no,
Please don't do
no.
that.
I wasn't trying to say that.
No,
I
no,
just
no.
so
I didn't
people
think you
know.
were either. I just want to make sure people
You know
understand.
In order for her to receive DMs, you got to be friends with her, because she's blocked off she's got a thing where random people who ask her questions straight directly through DMs don't get in contact with her.
Yeah.
They got to do it through the Discord rooms.
And that's okay. Good. Okay.
I mean, that's logic. Otherwise, she'll have like 500 messages a day, like I used to have.
Yeah, and I'm curious what's going to happen to you after this too. So I'm just anyway. Maybe that's hubris. However,
whatever. I'm always here to listen and help out and try and find solutions.
Well, and that's it.
I'm willing to. I take my time and I respond to every one of them.
I absolutely believe it. That's what Maro said too, by the way. Well,
takes my time. Honestly, I do because I've got a full-time job as well. But it takes my time replying to every one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. You were telling me the other day when we were speaking, you were checking emails. So, let me ask you about the mistake they made with Deathmatch. And do you know why that occurred? Why they would pull Deathmatch?
Yep.
And can you explain background on Deathmatch, actually, before the recent events?
Well, Deathmatch, as I was explaining, when I first joined, we only had 2 modes. There was either Payload and Skirmish. I agreed with the first community manager that I would have an interview with the chief of project. I won't know his name, but I won't tell you his name because I've got, obviously, his name is private, and I can just tell you he's got my same name as me. He's called Jonathan.
Okay.
And I did an interview like I'm doing with you guys now, basically how I thought the game was, how I think it would progress, and this, that, and the other. And I regretted at that time that we didn't have a direct, straightforward PvP like 3 against 3, no objectives, nothing to do, just basically the deathmatch as it is now.
Okay.
And that came out 2 months later.
That would have been a nice
I'm
IP
pretty
to
proud
have.
of that. I'm pretty proud of that. I don't shout it out on roofs as they say in France, but I'm pretty proud of bringing deathmatch to the game.
Wouldn't it be nice to own that IP though?
Wouldn't that nice too?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if you owned, a little portion?
Nah, I don't need that.
It's a good idea. It was a good idea. So that was kind of my point. So basically, you're the guy that got deathmatch to happen, and then
exactly. Yeah.
What were you thinking when they pulled it for free for all? Like, what did you think?
I said, "What the beep are they doing?"
Yep, I was waiting. No, you can say you can say pretty much everything but the F word. We're trying to get monetized, folks. No, right now.
Exactly. So it's gotta be super kids is what I say. Yeah, no, you know my meaning. Yeah. When I saw that happen, I said, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah. Well, I think
there was a lot of very unhappy people.
Oh yeah, I mean, me too. I was very unhappy.
I think it was the cash cow myself.
The in-game objective of it isn't that bad.
Mm-mm.
Obviously, it's not that bad. Obviously, you can't team up with your teammates and play with your team and your squadron and all that. But the idea wasn't that bad. But if the points followed,
and that's from you. That's all I'm saying. There's a severe. I'm going to say this in opinion.
To what you're expecting, like 75 a kill, 15 plus 15 per stretch, 20 for a revenge, 100 for the first down. I mean, it would have been. No one would have said anything.
Mm-mm.
No one would have said anything.
Well,
everybody was going on about 7 kills for 550 points. What the hell? What's going on? I'm investing too much time, resources, and not getting what I'm supposed to get out of it.
Well, and the funny thing is I don't want to perpetuate the rumor, but I'm going to. That sounded awfully like how devs think. I would think is I'm just saying there's a rumor that you might be a little bit of a dev. You want to address that at all?
Well, let them think what they think. Let them think. I don't care.
Have you ever developed any games?
Let them think what they think.
Have you ever developed any games?
No, I'm not that. I'm not smart enough. I mean, I could probably conceptualize certain games, but putting it all into code and all that shit. No, I'm not as.
There we go.
I'm not as good as that.
Rumors finished. Just a professional mod. It sounds like. I figured.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, where's the termination button? We need a button that says terminated. We can just smack it.
Speaking of, I have this idea, and I want to shout out 2 people. Both for my work. This is going to be a quick little tangent, but I almost gave up the podcast. Kegs and I have spoke about this, but long or short, I was kind of teetering for a while, and it's just a bunch of reasons, mainly time, because I also work a full-time job, and this is turning into something similar.
No, I know I know what it's about. I know what it's like.
It's tough, bro.
I mean, I'm a full-time builder, so, you know.
Yeah, and again, I'm kind of labor too. So my thing is, I went to work, and I have told one person at my job about the podcast. And I came into work one day and didn't realize how many people knew about it. But I had a guy that he's just stern. He does, cares kind of about what's going on with him and kind of does. But he walked up to me and he's like, dude, he goes, I think you guys belong on a podcast or a radio or something. He's like, because you're the guy that can go to the supermarket and speak to somebody for, 2 hours and actually care. And it made me kind of giggle.
Exactly. That's all it's about, is showing that you care.
I do. I mean, and the thing is I asked him, I said, well, how do you know that? And he's like, well, I listen to your podcast. And this is somebody you wouldn't think would listen to my podcast at all. And it just kind of blew me away. Well, later on, my boss, who is the GOAT, by the way, and I would love to, the whole reason I brought this up is I want him saying dumbass to me. Because it's like a cheeky thing. Like, I'll do something stupid, he'll be like dumbass.
Yeah, cheeky friendly.
Yeah, he is the GOAT. But I want to get a cartoon goat that pops up out of the corner of the screen here, and I just want the goat to say dumbass, like every time I say something stupid. So I just wanted to shout those two guys out because it literally re-energized me to the point where, dude, this isn't the first time that I've met somebody in real life that's known about my podcast, either through family or something. I don't know. And, people really do enjoy us, dude. Like, I don't know what else to say.
And for the record, I would like everyone to know that this goofy-looking fucker with the red hat backwards is just the biggest, lovable teddy bear. Like, you guys can hurt his feelings. You really can. Like, the dude feels a lot. Me, on the other hand, there's a pile of stuff that direction that equals your feelings to me. Just saying. I don't feel shit. I don't give a fuck less.
But
I drink coffee stronger than your feelings.
see, but that's why we work, man. And it's just kind of our banner. But again, I just wanted to throw that out there that, like, literally, I love our Patreon. You can find our Patreon. That's great, and I appreciate every one of you. Software is going to become an issue. Actually, hardware is going to become an issue really quick now, since we are going to be video from now on. We're going to do this the real way.
Go to that Patreon, guys. Even if it's just 5-10 minutes, just go and help them out.
Dude, just hit the sub and like. Just like and sub, even share. It's free. And but if you want to donate money, absolutely, because we're going to need it. We really are. External hard drives and stuff like this is just, it's getting out of control. But long and the short, the whole reason I brought that up is just to have you say that, dude. That just blew my mind, in fact. Like, EisenFox, not only, he knows this. He told me to take a drink before we started because you were off getting a glass of wine, and I was just, there's so many questions I have for you, including, what do you think, what do you think would happen if Wildlife come across? So, do you think Wildlife knows anything about the podcast?
I haven't had any return or feedback from it, but I know they've probably listened to it.
That blows my mind.
Because I know I've posted in media and memes, I posted a link to the podcast.
Well, do you know anybody in Ireland, like developers or other mods or anything? Well,
I've spoken to them recently. We've got
it wasn't an accident that I chose Proper 12. I'm trying to get on their good side. I'm trying to get on their good side.
We've got a wildlife server.
No, that was a joke, guys.
We've got a wildlife Discord server where we talk, and I haven't had any feedback from there anyways. So
well, and look, we're not huge.
I know, I haven't had any feedback.
Yeah. I wish we were as large as my hubris, but I mean, certainly, it wouldn't hurt for morale for them to, give us a shout. And...
No, but I was saying to you the other day. Never mind if you're talking him good or bad about someone. You're talking about him.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm afraid that. Well, of course, I'll talk about SkyWarriors always, but it's getting to the point now where we're cross-gaming, we're cross-platform at this point. We're talking to, Call of Duty mobile players. We're talking to, obviously, Metal Storm's going to be a thing, I think. Entire squads are moving over there. It's crazy. And I just, and that's not a plug.
If you see my game phone page, it's fucking clogged with it, mate. Honestly.
Is it really?
I've got 20 games that I play daily.
And that's the thing. I'm not saying leave, or I'm not talking do an exodus.
No.
But what I am going to say, because our fans, I just don't want it to be misinterpreted. Fans, people that watch us, I fell into the kegs trap. Like it feels weird saying fans. Anyway, the people that listen to us, like that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, I think, is I guess I can only imagine what the numbers look like. I mean, I've even heard rumors that even the biggest squads are getting ready to turn it off. Like it's weird, and I don't want to see that happen, Eisen. I don't. I just
no. Me neither. Because that's what basically brings obviously newer players to the game as well.
Yeah.
But I've had feedback on a couple of stats where basically 80% of the new players that come in just play payload because they like just
blown up cargo planes. That's what Perk and I liked. I mean, he's a deathmatcher.
That honestly blows my mind. That 80% of the new players play payload, and there is no wonder why I don't see them little bitches in the air.
His face was just priceless. Oh boy!
Well, and I won't lie. Like when I play, I'm deathmatch exclusive, and every now and again I will bump onto the free for all. And I'm not gonna lie. Like I tried it out, and I actually went from my T7 to my T6, my SU-30. Slapped some stickers on that bitch and slapped on some good missiles that I've been conserving because I basically quit paying for everything. I'm not giving you guys any more money. Fuck you. And but yeah, I slapped a couple stickers on that son of a bitch, grabbed some good missiles, went out there on free for all just to see what it was actually like. And like honestly, anyone who I mean, it irritated me that I wasn't getting the points that I should have. You know what I mean? Because like I went 7-0, I went 8-0, I went 8-1 with a first down, and I wasn't getting shit for points. And I'm like, this is bullshit. But I will say I did enjoy the fact that it was me versus 5 motherfuckers. Even though like half of it was just bots, it was still entertaining.
The background of it is brilliant. The idea of it, I think, is good, but that's the only thing.
They're squeezing
They didn't give the thing to make it the thing to do, like deathmatch. You see what I mean?
Right. And deathmatch is entertaining because if you get on a flight like me, I've been around for going close to 2 years now.
Oh yeah, dude. We're really close.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's got to be any day now. My thing's got to say 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because all it says right now is over a year.
I'm 2 years and a half, so yeah, you should be near not far from 2 years.
Yeah, because I think I don't know. It wasn't that old when I got on. I don't even think payload was a thing yet. Because that was after skirmish, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Because they did skirmish and then like a month. Right. I want to say it was skirmish, and then payload came after, wasn't it? Like a month later.
Probably.
Yeah, because I remember skirmish. I remember it being skirmish only.
Well,
but anyway, regardless.
No.
I digress. But like, so I'm only a BGN 2, BGN 1, something like that, because I took like a 4-month hiatus and just said, screw it, I'm not playing anymore. And all the people that I'm used to seeing when I go up and fly, they're MGNs, LGNs, GNs, and I'm sitting there going, "You sons," I'm sitting there like, "You sons of bitches," and I was trying to play a little catch up for a while, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go back into the schedule that I was with my spending on it. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I'll fly with them still though, and we'll have some fun. You know what I mean? But at that point, the T6 doesn't do the job.
No,
the T7, my F-15 stall, the T7, my highest level is 14. Now, if I'm not stickered, I'm fucked.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but if I sticker, and I know a couple of the guys I fly with are max level. You know what I mean? And if I sticker though, I can still compete. And I'm like, now that doesn't seem quite right. You know what I mean? That's a little oddball to me.
That just
the thing is, if they sticker, then they're way ahead.
Then they're way ahead. But that brought me to a question that we haven't asked in a while, Kegs. Do you feel comfortable talking about how much money you might have spent, Eisen, like on the game overall?
Well, I think I've got
Stand by for a reevaluation.
About how much?
Yes, I think between 800 and 1,200 euros on it.
That's getting close to about where I stopped. I mean, I shut it down at the F-18 at 2,500 US, so...
I mean, this is the first game I've ever spent any money on.
Me too. Actually, me too. And, yeah. I mean, so... I cannot believe I had you plugged us, by the way. That's just amazing. What was it? It was like and what? Subscribe?
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This little fuzzball over here in his little fucking office.
But you have no idea. You have no idea who you're really talking to right now. So I'm just saying, this is the closest thing we've got to seeing inside of that magical door Marovich has talked about. I mean, he's
so here I'm gonna go ahead and throw a rumor out that I've heard. I'm gonna throw a rumor out that I've heard about you, Eisen, and you can either tell me to eat a dick and I'm not gonna talk about this, or you can answer it. Whichever one. It's fine. This is just
all ears. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
All right. Like I said, this is just a rumor I heard, but I've actually heard the rumor that you can poke your nose through that door and actually have direct contact with some people on the other side. Now, is that true, or is that a...
Only with 2 people, yeah.
So you do have some influence?
I've got their personal live studio emails, yeah.
Well,
that's wow.
Do me a favor.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that I do it. It doesn't mean because I've got them that I can do it. I try and do things through... Basically, I'm at the bottom, I'm mod, and then I go up to the community manager, and then the community manager sends it on to the team, and I never bypass
right. You guys have a set chain of command.
Exactly. I did it once, and that was when they changed the points in Skirmish.
Yeah.
Remember there was this shitstorm going on about why the points been changed. It was in mid-war as well. I mean, and I took a lot of shit from everybody out there. I mean, a lot of them obviously have been banned now from the server. Not to my due, don't worry.
No hate mail. I think you're going to be beating off a lot. You're going to be sifting through a lot of emails from ladies, I think, man. Because I mean, look at this man. He looks like a model, for God's sakes. He's married, but there's DMs. Just saying. Anyway, the fucking French guy is always looking good, bro. What the fuck? I just realized how out of shape I am.
It's a French wine. It's absolutely gorgeous. Keeps you alive.
Yeah, because apparently Scotch makes you a fat pile of shit with a red hat. So,
I mean, you could just be drinking pecan whiskey with a leather cowboy hat. Just saying.
You got logs. There's a difference. You're like 6 foot something. I'm like 5'6", and I've got me proper 12. Classic Scottishman, classic Irish Scotsman. But no, in all seriousnness, as I pour
come back to what you asked me, the question I asked. I mean, it doesn't, because I have those emails that I can basically go up there, and I did it once. Saying, I mean, he's one of the chief sort of like he's not a developer of the game, but he's sort of like he's a developer of how the game is going to futurely be.
Okay.
So like what kinds of content to add in and this and the other.
Concepts and such.
I got you.
The thing is for me is like even if we had the consent to use a simple little tag, in the corner of the box, not necessarily representing SkyWarriors, but I'm just saying like. We don't necessarily want that because I like having full control. I know Kegs does. But what I will say about SkyWarriors in general, like, I love the community. This is just the very beginning.
I mean, that's why I'm still here as well.
Yeah. Well, this is the very beginning. I mean, we've kind of touched a little bit on mental health and mobile gaming and the effects of. But, like, honestly, it'll go full circle. The benefits as well. We haven't done that one yet. So, yeah, I don't know. You good to go for a little bit, Kegs?
No. The wife just popped in and was being goofy.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if you had to go, but it's all good. that part.
No. She was just being silly for a minute, and I gave her a little I love you fingers, and you guys probably saw me do the heart. So no, just a surprise visit, because I'm currently in our bedroom. This is the studio right now, so
same as me.
Yeah, see, there you go. So, yeah, no, she just popped in real quick. She was grabbing something.
You know, I'm blessed. That's all I can say. I'm blessed, like, where I live and stuff, and yeah, I don't live in a trailer park in my mom's basement. Sorry, boys. I might even give him a house tour sometime, but yeah, I mean,
I can go out the window right now and show everyone my hound dog.
Yeah, dude, I'd much rather live where you live, but yeah, no, no. In all seriousness,
what's he doing right now?
This thing was built for something completely different. It's called DCS. You familiar with DCS? So that's what it was running. But right now, I don't know. I haven't decided whether to really dedicate my life to YouTube yet or not. So we're working on it. But anyway, so
as I said, get the subs in and get the thumbs up.
Dude, honestly, like, I appreciate that so much. Like, you have no idea.
Well, and he knows though, because don't you have your own YouTube channel for your gaming stuff, right?
He's got 2.
I've got 2 YouTube channels, yeah.
And
yeah, so he knows how important it is to have the subscribers. So
yeah, and I mean,
I don't claim for them because I want to stay little and I do my own thing. I'm just doing it for fun. And
the fact that nobody knew who you are.
I've got a filmmaking channel.
You're either the most patient person in the world or a fucking serial killer because nobody knew who you were. You know,
maybe both of them.
Well, how do I get to Paris here? Like, I need some help. Just take me out of my misery. But no, in all seriousness, if you ever want any plugs or anything, something goes south.
Which friend in my closet do I need to grab for that particular problem?
All of them. I want to look like Peter Weller at the beginning of RoboCop. I just want to be done.
I don't know if we got room on the screen for me to like hold all of them and whatnot. I could go tack up real quick. I got a plate carrier and a tack leg holster with a maul belt and a
drop leg,
big old K-bar that ties down to my leg. Yeah. Well, then I got my drop leg. My pistol goes over here, and then I got a chest holster, a punch dagger.
America.
Yeah. No, I'm ready. I'm ready.
So you could have moved to America.
Right, sir.
Speaking of, you could have moved to America, Eisen. And you could have had all this freedom. Instead, you went the other way. What's up with that?
Well, I've got freedom of having health care, free hospitals,
teeth.
I mean, obviously, I love France. I'm British, and I've been living in France for 30 years, and the lifestyle is absolutely
just wonderful. Or
it's great.
Well, see,
the thing with your English accent, Eisen, I can't tease you for sounding like the Arthur Vines guy. But there's one man who's in SkyWarriors who I can, so we're going to go ahead and plug Cupid right now. Sounds just like Arthur.
I know him, and he comes from London as well, same as me. I've had him on the phone as well.
Well, and you know,
do you know the Arthur Vines guy from back in the day? Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does he not sound just like him?
I'm Switzerland in this whole thing between Kegs and Cupid, but I will say every time you mention him, I have to timestamp. I have to go look at the time. That's what I just did because I have to let Cupid know because he's too lazy to listen to too long of a fucking podcast. But he's my boy. He's my boy.
What's up, Cupid?
Yeah, that's Eisen Cupid. I don't know. You guys know each other or not, but
yeah, we know each other. Yeah.
See, and he kind of mentioned a little bit about...
I've seen a couple of photos with him being in his bath, don't worry.
Yeah, so you might be the only other person that's seen his face. Like, he sends me photos, too.
Yeah, I know, I've seen his face, yeah.
Yeah. Fist bump for Mr. Eisen. Yeah. But, yeah, so... Yeah, he's definitely does it. He's not Arthur for sure, but he's a good guy. He really is.
But he sounds like him.
Oh, he sounds just like him.
He's a good guy. He is a good guy. He likes winding people up the wall and pissing them off. Yep. Yes, I mean that's his.
There's a really easy way to set him off in return. I learned.
Oh yeah.
Other than
he goes off full level.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, other than the Arthur Vines thing, he's for everyone who doesn't know. Cupid is a very big animal lover. So if you're a hunter like myself and you're talking to someone in a server he's in and you post your hunting picture, he will absolutely lose his mind.
But I think
he'll flip completely.
Is that is that not like kind of more of a Euro thing though? In general, hunting?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
a little bit. And but our animals are we have a lot more. They're a lot bigger. I don't know, man. Maybe they.
No, they're not. No, they're not. The Russian boars, those things are massive,
But
dude.
you're talking Russia.
Like, so, okay, so I know guys
You haven't seen the French
that...
ones, bro. You haven't seen the French one.
Well, but they're the angry ones. The Russian ones are the angry ones, ironically.
I got it.
But I know guys down in Texas. That hog hunt with like hounds and other ways, helicopters and the side by sides and all that shit.
Gyros.
But they've always talked about going over to Russia and doing those big old Russian boars, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not walking up to one of them with a knife that's that freaking long. And actually, I got one in the stand over here that would probably work, but I ain't doing that with one of them big Russian goddamn things. I'll go down to Texas all day long and stab them guys. I don't care. I'll boar spear them. Over them ones over yonder? No, you can keep that shit.
Are we talking about the hunters you're going to stab or the boars?
And go get rockets.
Well, tell me, I want to learn more about these Paris pigs now. So I'm intrigued. No, in all seriousness, man, like it really is a bit. First of all, thank you for coming on. I don't know if we did that very early, but seriously, it's a big deal. You don't want to plug anything. Is there anything that you want to say to, like? So obviously we have players that are playing everything. Is there anything you want to say? Are you able to, not necessarily on behalf of SkyWarriors, but on behalf of yourself?
No. I mean, I will, because they're really trying to do a good job. I mean, lately when the free for all came out, Deathmatch came back within a couple of days, or week or so. Before then, they wouldn't have listened. They would have left it for a month until the next update, or a month and a half, or even 2 months. So their reactivity is getting better and better. I must admit, they're listening more and more to the community. I don't know if you've noticed, but they're sending out surveys. They're asking questions. Recently, we've had a Q&A with the devs, which will come out soon as well. That didn't happen before.
Well, I'm glad they're listening. I really am. And look,
they do. They really are listening. It doesn't seem, they don't communicate. They don't say, yeah, we're listening, or we've got that, or anything the other. They don't listen. They read, but they don't say that they're reading.
Sure. And it sounds like it's a multi-continent thing too. So look, all I know is we spoke about this kind of So the server went down for another thing. They were right back to them in 30 minutes or so, and then it took another 20 or something to get the server back up. Prospectively, in the abstract though, if you look at the player amounts and the server basically power that it really boils down to a lot of that too. I don't know what it's like on their side, and I don't want to assume to. And again, we're not going to be exclusively SkyWarriors, podcasters, but honestly, that's my home. This is where this community came from, and I'm always going to be loyal to a point. In fact, he knows how much I was freaking out. Like, I didn't want you to come out here and drop the nuke bomb necessarily, unless you had to.
No.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't have done.
I don't think you would do that.
I do think I've said what I needed to say. Just to bear in mind, we're almost at 8,000 now members on the Discord server. SkyWarriors.
Yeah. Well, and that's a whole nother thing too. So it's hard for the podcast to be in the real server for different reasons, links, stuff like that. But we're there. You've seen my snarky comment. You did.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know exactly what I said. So, but the thing is again, when you got that many players, who are you asking? So, and I thought about it right after I hit enter, but I still thought it was funny.
And if we think about it logically, you know what I mean. You guys, so you got what, almost 8,000 you said on the Discord server. The fact that if you go on the Google Play Store and you look at how many downloads the game has, you're actually only talking to a very small percentage of the entirety of the community. Because I'm sure there's. Go ahead. Sorry.
I know that's right. I know what happens with a lot of these games. There is a lot of downloads when it first comes out, and the only people that stay are only 35-40% of them. Not even that.
No, 25.
Stay with the game within a year. Yeah. A lot of them come in, do a couple of matches, right, saying it's not for me, and they just leave. That's why you probably have not. There's a big difference between the number of downloads and the number of people that you have in the community on Discord.
Well,
Right. Well, and like I said, there could be plenty of people like me when I first started the game where I had never heard of Discord and I thought it was a scam and I almost didn't download it. You know what I mean?
Well,
I had no idea. I thought they were trying to scam some money out of me or something. I'm like, no, f you guys. I ain't downloading that shit.
well, and don't think that I'm trying to be big brain here, but I honestly, to a point, it's got to be somewhat
But you are.
refreshing. Yeah, it's got to be somewhat refreshing though for some of these devs and just mods in general, right? If they can really get rid of the older crowd, let them go play somewhere else until they come back, because they will come back. I mean, they're that.
They
loyal.
will. They will. I mean, like I did. I stopped for about 3 months.
Oh yeah. Well, and I literally just chopped my F18 account. That $2,500 is gone. Never asked for a refund. Never will, because I got you guys. But that's a whole nother thing. But what I'm saying is, it's got to be refreshing for people to kind of get rid of the old guard for a little while for maybe a new game, and let them come back and see what changes for them, and that also establishes a new guard that can come in and kind of rebuild.
Yeah, you always gonna have people leaving and then new ones coming up. It's a circle. It always works.
Exactly, and again, I wouldn't even mention that, but I do care about SkyWarriors. I mean, the community, and I hope Wildlife figures it out, because they have a great game here and they have a hell of a following.
They do have a great game. Honestly,
and it's not about graphics. I want to make that clear. It's not about graphics. It's about money.
It's about intuition. It's about the feeling of it. It's not just about graphics, because you're bound to have some more which are better graphically done.
Sure.
But the gameplay isn't that great.
No. And the thing is, I think I know for a fact most of SkyWarriors issues is money based. They're trying to squeeze that turnip too much. They really are. I mean, there's a lot of big money players, but there's a lot of them also getting tired of it. So. And that's my general overall feeling. I'm not speaking for the entire community. I wouldn't dare, but
I mean, they've lost quite a few big players already.
Well, I mean, the fact that they let a Prince go, whether or not that was because of money or not is debatable. But I mean, there's a lot of big players, like you said, already left, and but like you said, it's also a cycle. So maybe they just need some time without people pressuring them and shit to figure stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on the other side, they still need continuous feedback in order to how to progress and get better.
Yeah, and look, I hope people play both. To be honest, if they're gonna move, but try both. And
no, exactly. I mean, don't listen to us and say that's the game to play or that's not the game to play. Make it your mind. Check it out. Do it for yourself and play with what you feel better with. I mean,
and please to God, don't spend your rent money, lose your girlfriend, your wife, don't do that, please. And that happens. That's not even a joke.
A lot of people lose their.
That's not even a joke.
No, it's not.
It's really not.
There's
other gameplay.
There's been some people, and I'm not going to name names or squads or nothing like that, but they were dropping, 5 digits a month on this game.
Yeah, well, I can understand that, totally.
I talked to somebody that said about 800
five digits. We're not talking 5,000. We're not talking 8,000. We're not talking 9. We're talking 10,000 plus a month.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Like $800 a week, and it's just stupid. I mean, that's something. I mean, if you're a millionaire or something, you can do that, fine. But I mean, if you're out here, literally.
We're free to do it. I mean, it's there for a reason. I mean, I don't blame the people that do it. I mean,
I don't either. I think that some of them probably shouldn't be doing that, but they're free to do it. They're free to do it.
Well, I mean,
all I can do is tell them.
Right to do it.
Yeah, all I can do is And that's the thing. Like, I'm not necessarily
be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Is just be careful.
Yeah, take care of your responsibilities and then go play a game.
Exactly.
This is a game, guys. Other than the podcast stuff, so I'll talk about that with you guys off, but other than the podcast stuff, I mean, really, this stuff's not going to last forever. I mean, whoever put, gameplay footage on YouTube, that kind of stuff, but your rank's not going to last forever. And the fact that we have Mr. Eisen on.
Taken up by the young ones who are pushing up from behind you.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a whole other thing, like, that's why just having you on to do this is it was a really cool experience. Because, dude, when you text me, do you remember the first thing I said to you? Do you remember? So I was floored that he even DM'd me. because like Eisen and I have spoke like twice before that, and you were really nice, but obviously busy. I also thought you were French, and but I was just kind of like saying hey or whatever, and yeah. When you DM me, I was like, you got to be kidding me. So thank you, Dope, or all the friends, I should say, of the game that. They're all the community friends like Dope, Nitro, Butchwag, all those kind of guys. Wow, Nitro was such an interesting guy too. No, he's a really good guy. Nitro was great, guy, dude.
Yeah, I love Nitro. Nitro's a really good dude. I've known Nitro basically since like my first 2-3 weeks playing this game. Nitro's been good shit. Always has been.
Here's another thing. Did you know that there was now an upstart podcast called was it Wild and Wired? There's another podcast that's they're on their third episode, their second episode, but yeah, yeah, they're worth giving a shot and talking to as well. Like that, the fact that somebody has the nuts to try to do this too, like that made me happy. Good. You know what I mean? If you can inspire people to go further and do something like a bit like you, then great, good on them. That's what I'm saying, and I was that's what Case and I were talking about. We're not necessarily trying to make money, but it's like when we're in the air, we're definitely spending money. But doing this, you know, it's just as fun or more. You don't have to. Yeah. You don't have to. You can do it another way. You can just shoot sidewinders and machine guns. And stay in the community. Learn when to and this, that, and the other. But you don't have to. Yeah. It's only to make the game slightly easier. That's right. And stay in the community. Because you don't have to be a top pilot to be worth talking to. Like, just in general, from person to person. Yeah. Like, exactly. And if your squad doesn't value who you are as a person, like, maybe reevaluate who that is and who you're with. And then move on and choose another one. That's right. Yeah. Yep. And
speaking of which, Fox, what squad are you flying with right now? You want to give them a little shout out?
Well, I was given, basically, I joined what was called Rex at one stage, where it was the first.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Rex, you haven't heard that name, yeah. Well, we were basically the first team to hit the first 10, then top 6. First French team to hit 1 million, then 2 million.
Oh, bro, we remember Rex. We just haven't heard it in a while. Just to be clear.
And now I downed on the commander of that squad. I wanted to chill out a bit and take a bit more time for myself. Good. And in the end, I don't know what happened, but something went wrong and I got kicked out. And then I said, right, fuck it, that's the end of me. I'm out of it. And then I joined Bro back again. What? Bro, basically 2.0, where we're building another top squad. Yes, we used to be in the old days. What do you think? Be getting up to the top nice and slowly.
What do you think?
So what are you guys doing with the original Bro squad? Because I know it's still around.
That was my next question.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, most of those guys have stopped. Like Coke. What's his name? He was some of these names, because you don't see them anymore on the chat and in gameplay. You forget them.
Right. Yeah, like Osmantis popped up in English chat the other day, and I'm like, holy shit!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
it's been a long time since I've seen you. Yeah, you know that kind of stuff. Yeah, but there's loads of people which were in it and which we were dealing with 2 squads at that time. They've all left.
Well,
the only one that's
so basically you can't even get into that squad anymore.
No. As what I know of, no, you can't get into that squad. But
so we're all right around the same age. I mean, give or take, 8 years.
The people that I know that are left over from the old Bro is Dope, Mandarb, Zeal, Classic.
Right, and Mandarb, I actually had a conversation with him because I saw the name once, and I'd flown against him, and I noticed the name when he turned into a pretty fireball, and then
Mandarb.
I gamed him in English chat, and he's like, "Yeah, you too, man." And I'm like, "So you must really, really enjoy the Robert Jordan books." He goes, "How did you?" He goes, "Yeah, man, they're awesome." And so, for those of you who don't know, Mandarb is actually the name of a character's horse in the Wheel of Time saga by Robert Jordan.
You were telling
me
about
if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I'm gonna go ahead and say you need to go ahead and read those books because they're phenomenal. Amazon is trying to make a TV series out of it. I'm on the fence about the TV series currently, but I will reread the books any day of the week. There is a prequel to the entire 15-book novel called New Spring. Give it a check out. It'll help you figure shit out when you get later in the books, because I accidentally started on number 3 when I was in 8th grade. And that messed me all up.
Another prime example of why he's not here on accident. Not only does he speak my gibberish, but just a couple more questions, buddy. So we're all around the same age, but
I'm turning 40 in a couple of days.
Well, I'm close. I'm 39. He's the young buck. Big old stud there. No, dude, you're great. I need you. You're in the middle of the pack. I walk in the front of the pack and set the pace because I'm old.
Not in this pack. Not in this pack. He'd be the old silverback. You'd be the fucking beta, and I'm stuck at an omega.
Yeah, well, you would be in the rear for sure, or the center. I don't know, because we need the aggressive younger ones. I don't know. I would put me in front because I'm old and sickly.
So if you actually look at the biology of wolf packs when they travel, the 3 strongest fighters of the pack actually take the front. And then the next 3 are in the middle, and the alpha is actually at the rear, walking behind everybody, keeping an eye on the entirety of the pack.
Well, if you want to know where I am, I'm out front.
Well, here. Let me drop this. let me drop this for you guys. Being out in front in the wolf pack, so they. Who in the fuck is going to listen to this? But literally, there was some Canadian scientists. Some Canadian scientists finally got wild wolves in an actual line, like in their pack. And it was actually the oldest, sickest wolves that led, because they would take the brunt. But they set the pace also so they don't fall behind. Then you had the young bucks in a second tier, so they could either help with a frontal attack. Yeah, so the third tier was actually the young pups and the mothers. The fourth tier was another 3 or 4 wolves that were young bucks, like kegs. And then in the rear was the true alpha pack leader.
Sounds pretty smart.
It's really smart, actually.
Of everything.
Yep, and it's 100%. It's like a ring.
I've always appreciated wolves. They are a majestic animal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as a hunter and a conservationist, well, I guess conservationist might not be the right term necessarily.
Dude, you got to see.
I want to make sure that we.
By the way, you'll really enjoy.
Well,
that.
I want to make sure that we keep our balances and our quotas proper to maintain good populations for the next generation to be able to hunt and whatnot. But, and I'm just going to throw this in. You can call it a plug and call it whatever the hell you want. Populations need to be managed. They do, and exactly. That's the problem. That's the problem that we're running into in my area in Michigan. Is the wolves are just. They got thrown back on a federally endangered protected list by some friggin' judge over in California, and they're just running rampant. And our DNR, basically their Department of Natural Resources, the ones in charge of making quotas and hunting seasons and so on. Their hands are tied. They can't do nothing about it. And I realize that, but at the same time, I feel like there needs to be more voices that are actually saying what needs to be said. Yeah, no, and that's our deer herd is the worst I've ever seen it. Even the coyotes are down. It's insane. Everything's down. It's just since they've reintroduced them, they're like, so we were only supposed to have about 500 wolves in my area for it to be stable, and we got to be, I don't even know anymore, 3 times that, 4 times that. It's insane.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. I'd start shooting a lot of big coyotes, really big coyotes, but that's where I'm from. I'm from Missouri.
It's a world record.
It didn't look like he was that big in the scope. But, yeah. Boys, we're kind of creeping up on that time. So before we let you go, By the way, thank you both. Please tell your significant others the same. Thank you for your time on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Mine, bro.
Yeah, I don't have a significant other. I mean, I have my dog, and she understands, and she doesn't really bitch about it too much. But one day you guys are going to get to see her soon on camera, and you guys are just going to laugh. But she's my homie, ride or die. But is there anything that you really do want to say, just at all, to players that are frustrated, players that you understand, like the whole thing? Anything you want to say, you absolutely have the floor.
I just say, just keep on doing what you're doing. I mean, even if you're just bitching about it, you still feedback because it doesn't settle your requirements. So, I mean, just carry on doing what you're doing.
Man, fuck you being a, unpaid mod. You should be the fucking HR guy for these guys at this point. Good God. What is it about the French guys, dude? Like, every angle, he's just, like, fucking perfect. Like, you turn
Well, I've
right...
got most of the personal numbers of the people who fly in France.
Really? See, that's pretty neat. So I noticed that the Greeks were like that, too. Have you noticed that? Like, real time,
I know.
smaller countries.
I've seen a lot of photos where they all gather up as the same squad, and there's like 10 of them.
And they have dinner. Yeah. Dude, and honestly, I would love to do that. So here's the thing. America's so big. But honestly, I don't have any issue with that. Back in the day, the haters were all making fun of that shit. And I was thinking to myself, like, that'd be kind of neat, It's like playing darts or something on a Sunday.
I think in one of the old games that I played, we did a convention in Paris. And there was we were a team of 50. And we all met in Paris.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like he said, like and subscribe. Maybe we can put on a, Cool-Kegs podcast and not just SkyWarriors. We could have us all there. Anybody that's heard of this community or podcast. Just saying. Like, that would be a hell of a deal. Maybe do 2 events a year.
When I was in the original USN there, we were actually talking about doing meeting up in, I think it was Illinois, because that was like the most centrally located area. But we were talking about meeting up there and doing like a big old grill out, cookout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Set it all up on Facebook, and do it. It's really fun to do.
Can I just throw this out here? And I know Eisen knows. I can see it in his eyes. But Kegs, you know this already. But it's not just us. We're not because we're on a podcast. It's not because we're in a server. You make friends doing this kind of shit. You just do. And it's no different.
You're bound to.
Yeah, and it's no different than meeting somebody at the pub that you see, twice a month, that kind of thing. Exactly. Or playing racquetball with a buddy at work. He may work in a different fucking place than you, but yeah, every 2 weeks you go fishing. This doesn't make the memories any less valid, okay? Now, we might be flying virtual machines, stuff like that. Okay, I get that. I shut it down just purely out of, honestly, confusion of myself, honestly, at that point. But, that I have a mirror on myself too much. That's why I'm a big teddy bear, Mr. Kegs. But what I'm gonna say is, this: like,
over there.
I hope nobody like takes it when we say fake planes and shit like that. It's not that this doesn't have value. It's just if it's for me anyway, not as a business and not even attached, but for me, as long as it's a healthy way. That's how much
value is where you want to put it.
Yeah, and. If I told you stories that I can't tell you too, just because they were personal, you'd understand why that it does affect me. I do care about a lot of these people we talk about. I do. Kegs knows this. He thinks I'm a big softy, but the truth is I talk to these people a lot. And
we all have a heart, right?
Well, dude, they're just people behind these avatars. Even the mean, nasty ones are probably the biggest teddy bears ever.
What you think, even behind these random names, there's somebody behind their screen.
Yep, including the ones that, most people would find disgusting. Like, let me give you an example. Most of those trolls that come in with those highly offensive names, like in chat, in game chat, those are kids.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Those are kids. They're kids, though. They're kids or bad trolls. And
just basically they just want to be remarked, and just basically they just want to be
attention.
They just want to be highlighted.
Yeah, they want some attention out of it, and I start, I'll play with them a little bit, but eventually, guys, especially anybody complaining about game chat, please just mute them if you don't. If they're being offensive, mute them.
Exactly.
That's all you got to do. You don't have to highlight it. But there are some times that I've played with them for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll mute them, and then I get real quiet.
Because of my duty, I have to highlight them.
I know. But hey, that's.
You said that you're about to have a not good day, mother.
See, you and a few handful of people only have that hammer. I can't do that, so
Well, anybody can sort of like say that's going wrong and this, that, and this sort of like they're having a certain offence. Anybody can do that. I mean, I've been wanting that for a year and a half. The mute button. And the other button, I don't know what it is in English. I've got it.
It would be
report.
Report, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Those buttons weren't in, and I had been requesting them for a year and a half. This was even before Miro became a mod.
And that's something we didn't even touch on yet, boys. Man, this is why I can't chop this up. So, everybody knows Marrow's a friend of the podcast, you know. I hope. Hopefully, Marrow. Love you. Hello, buddy. But no, in all seriousness, how exactly? So, I know. Are you the oldest active mod still left? Is that true?
Yeah.
See, in your introduction, you didn't mention that because you're humble. I don't know.
Well, what's the point in saying it? I do my job, and I don't need to be sort of like, well done, and things. I don't care. You know?
So I want to make sure.
You know,
I want to make sure I'm thinking the right people. So if Wildlife didn't ask you to come on or something like that, you know.
No, I proposed my services. Well, services in a certain way.
Well,
I was going to say, where's the price sheet?
I know I'm good at what I'm doing.
the thing is, though, that means a lot to me, just in general. Like seriously, that means a lot to me. I didn't think you were going to be that sexy. I mean, I'm not even gay. Like, I keep saying that, but dude, look at the lighting. I'm just saying. Ladies, he's taken. I have to remind myself. But no, seriously, dude, you've been so fantastic and cordial and great. And,
again, cool. The closet's over there, brother.
Oh no, I'm already out that bitch. Fuck. I can't fit back in there. I had a couple chickens, couple America meals, couple McDonald's. How do you say McDonald's? By the way, that's a good one.
McDonald's.
Okay, so that's not funny. But he knows what I'm getting ready to say. And I want to say this for our girl perk. We still got here grinding, and I'm going to get you those McChickens. So, me and you, girl, you get a hold of me, DM me. We're going to get we're going to get all those grimy McChickens. And, yeah, long or the short, you know, it's been a pleasure, bro. And, I really appreciate you coming on. Kegs?
Me too, bro.
You have anything?
It's been really pleasure speaking to you guys.
Dude,
oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. It's definitely been fun.
Great having a face behind a name.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny
Makes
because
it more human. Makes it more human.
Let me ask you this. This is a good question since this is our first face thing. Do I sound like the person I am? Like, look like anyway?
Are you sure you want me to respond to that question?
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, absolutely. Was the answer yes?
I'll answer for him. You pretend he's not talking. Yes.
Well, here's the funniest
I want you
part.
to answer that question.
But here's the funniest part. What if I chopped off the hair and was shaved? Because I don't have this kind of long of a beard, and I usually have the Conor McGregor haircut, similar to what you have right now, Eisen. So, if I didn't, I'm just curious because seriously, this right here is costing me more money than SkyWarriors right now.
Long-haired bearded dude. Well, you sound like you look.
I love it. Actually, I'm okay with that because I'm okay with that. When I first seen Kegs, I was like, he's a mountain. When I first seen you, Eisen, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I expected like an older guy, but not extremely older. I would just say more mature, 50s. You know.
No, playing games, 15, 20 of them. I'm still a kid, bro. I'm still a kid. I'm still a kid in the house, actually.
Really?
I ain't got any kids, but I'm still the biggest kid in town.
I love you, dude. Like you. I would party with this fucker. I'm just saying, like, I think this guy would get wild. I really do. I think this guy would have a great time. Like, so I've heard about these underground shows in Paris. Do you know where those would be?
No idea, because I live about 800 kilometers away from Paris.
Oh, okay.
I'm down in the south of France, right down south.
Down south? Like the boot?
Yeah.
Are you on the hill?
Near the Pyrenees.
Dude, this is so great. Kegs, do you have anything left to say?
Not particularly.
No. Well, let me get Eisen to say this for us.
Peace out, guys.
Well,
enjoy your life. You've only got one of them.
That's hard. It's hard for me to be funny after that. So I guess with that being said,
oh, please, go ahead.
But no,
he's cool,
and he's been Kegs, and he's been Mr. EisenFox.
And we're the fuck out.
And we're the fuck out. I love it. I love it.